Hello everyone, odedex here, welcome to episode 144 of my Sinto Let's Play. So in the previous episode I started setting up the system which will unload all the cargo and reload all the things for my mining cart. In case you've missed it, I kind of built this small station right here with this cargo manager, which basically leads back into the nether and hopefully continue mining, and also the system basically comes back and obviously everything is kind of self-explanatory. Anyway, this episode, hopefully, I'm gonna finish up the entire project so I can finally start mining with this new card, and we'll see how that turns out. So let's get started. The first thing, basically, I need to do is pretty much complete the cargo management, and apart from that, a couple of different things, but mostly just the cargo management is what I'm missing. So I think for doing that, I'm actually gonna go ahead and build the same thing I've built for my seed farm. I forgot the name. This thing, the cargo distributor, basically gives you more faces to manage cargo with the block, and it's actually very convenient. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and make this off screen quickly, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the block done. I'm gonna place it on top of here, and this is what you should do usually. And let's actually place the cart in the world, the actual drill cart in the world, so it will be easier for me to see what I'm missing, what I still need to do, and so on. Now, mainly for my seed farm cart, for my farmer cart, there are a couple of significant changes. The thing that which is similar, that they both need coal to run. They both need coal to fuel their engines, so this is kind of a similarity between both of them. Let's try push it a little bit forward. Okay, good enough. Okay, let's have it like this. Okay, so I have the same engine, which requires fuel to run, and without any fuel, of course, it won't run, so I'm going to supply it with coal. I've got the drill, which needs to be turned on and off. At the moment, let's disable drill, so when it starts running, it won't drill out this small gate right here. So right now you can see this basically states that this drill is now disabled. We've got a railer. This is a new thing that I haven't made before, which basically requires rails, and it will, if it tries to advance on a block, for example, right here, which doesn't have a rail, it first places a rail and then goes forward. And we've got a bridge builder. Pretty much the same thing. If it tries to go forward and there is no block in front of it, and of course no rail, it first places a block and then a rail. These two things, the railer and the bridge, usually work together very nicely. They're supposed to work together. And we've got the side chests, basically all the storage inventory. We've got the height control to tell which height to go to. Now, it might be a little bit funny because since I'm doing this cross ages, right here I'm at height 64, but right here I'm at height 62. That may cause some problems. Let's take a look at my model toggler. Can I change that? Okay, so just a quick suggestion, don't try to right-click your cargo manager with pickaxe of the core. They don't like each other and it causes your game to crash. Okay, so let's take a look again. I've got, okay, so I can control the drill, the shield, invisibility, chunk loading, and so on. But the height module actually doesn't have any way to interface with it. This is a problem. This is actually a big problem, because if I cannot do this, the height control will basically make it go crazy. It will try to go up and down all the time. Although I think if the drill is disabled, this is also disabled. I'm pretty sure. Okay, I don't really know, to be honest. We'll see how that turns out. Let's set it up to be the same height as this one. So this, at the moment, this is height 62. So let's set it up to height 62. And we'll see how that turns out. If it causes too many problems, we'll change that. So this is basically what the height control does. When the cart tries to go somewhere, it will try to go to the height which you specify it. Now, I think it actually won't be a problem, because it only tries to do something when it can do something. Like, it will only actually try to go down or up when only it has the chance to do that. Like, if it can only go down or up, like at the edge of a rail or something, then it will try to dig down or dig up. and set up the next rail. So it actually, since this place is already built, it actually shouldn't affect it too much, I hope. Okay, activate shield. Let's turn the shield on, just in case. Okay, kind of has a small delay. Okay, so shield is activated, although it kind of consumes the engine power, so I don't think, yeah, it's kind of turned off and on by default because there is no engine running. And chunk loader, which of course I think also requires some engine power, and while the engine is not running, it's kind of irrelevant. But again, this is also kind of self-explanatory. Loads the chunks which is it in, and this is kind of a must for this type of drill, because since it's going to go into uncharted places, it kind of has to force load the chunks around it, otherwise it kind of will stop running, obviously. Okay, so three things I'm gonna need to take care of: bridge, engine, and railer. And I'm gonna use similarly the same system that I used here, using regulators in combination with applied logistics. I don't think there is much of another solution to this, because as far as I know, only red power regulators give you that very convenient inventory interfacing system with an inventory nearby, which gives you a way to manage what's inside, or more specifically, decide on a specific amount of items inside it. Now, logistics pipes actually have that system. However, I'm not using logistics pipes, so this is kind of pointless. Also, something I forgot actually is that I'm going to need to replace the normal track by my module toggler with an advanced detector rail. It's kind of a must. This is how they interface with each other. Normal rail just doesn't cut it. You need to place a special rail. So let's do that. And this is pretty much taken care of. So let's get started. I'm gonna make it a little bit nicer than what I had here. So more regulators, more tubes, and more filters, but it overall will actually work better. There will be zero chance of bounce backs into the wrong filters. I had that problem, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I had that problem with my track placement system on my red power quarry, where items would bounce back, but they would bounce back into the wrong filter. Like, if this one is outputting bone meal, and that bone meal would bounce back, it might actually go into this filter with the coal, and then you have this kind of conflicting interests, if you might call it, that basically they stop each other from pulling, because if the inner buffer is full, it will ignore whatever it is supposed to be doing. So even though if, say, coal is still needed, but the inner buffer is filled up with bone meal, it doesn't care. Bone meal will not be pulled because... Oh, sorry, coal will not be pulled because the inner buffer is filled up. Anyway, I'm going to separate all of this. So let's get the required things. I should have everything, basically. I'm going to need a bunch of interfaces. Let's do it from here. I'm going to need basically 3 interfaces, so let's make 2 more. And I'm going to need 3 regulators, each for each item, 1 for each item, so also another regulator. And I'm going to need some filters as well. Probably let's get some cables just in case I might need them. So that's the interfaces. And filters as well, I'm just going to need 3. And regulators, which is, it has some trouble crafting for some reason. Let's try again. Okay, there we go. Okay, so for each material, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Fuel is coal, bridge is tracks, which is something I'm going to need to take care of. There's going to be some changes which are pretty much unavoidable, but we'll take care of that. And stones. Stone will be my bridge material. Now, some time ago, pretty much a long time ago, I've already made a system that will self-resupply myself with stone. And there we go, this one. So it will always keep 10 stacks of stones, so there is no problem there. It will always make sure there is enough stone, so whenever I'm pulling, the system will resupply itself, so there is no problem there. And coal is also relatively easy. Let's get some coal. And I'm just going to need a timer, or a couple of them. Let's just get one and some alloy wire instead. and some ejected wire as well. Okay, that should do it. So let's get started. Now the block that I made in the beginning of the episode, this thing right here, that whatever it's called, the cargo distributor, is basically simply an extension of this cargo management block. It just lets you interface with more faces of the same storage. So instead of having potentially 5 faces, because always one face has to be standing near a track, this basically gives you extra 5 faces. So you get 10 faces to interface with the same inventory. Obviously, the bottom one is currently blocked, so I have 9, but I don't need that amount anyway. Okay, so let's have a regulator on each face. Now, I'm going to be using the green face will be the actual interfacing with the card. So let's recolor all the faces to be green. And logically they will all continue further on the same track, because it enters from one point through the gate and goes forward to the next part, so there is nothing special there. Okay, so first thing will happen is from the cart there will be a storage. All the storage slots get deported into the cart. Next there will be to the cart refill engine, and also refill derailleur, and also refill bridge material. And for each one of them, I'm going to need to place a specific regulator. So I'm going to place the regulator here, here, and here. I'm going to need more samples of each item. And I'm really close. Oh, come on, this thing bugged again. Every so often this gets bugged. The wireless remote simply gets bugged and stops working for some reason. Let's reset it. Okay, anyway, let's get some more stone. Let's get 3 stacks of each. Some more stone, some more coal, and tracks will have to wait, because tracks will need to be, I'm gonna need to remodel the entire thing. I cannot, or not, maybe I don't have to remodel the entire thing. Maybe I can kind of work around it. No, maybe I don't have to remodel anything. Let's quickly even take care of that even right now. Let's get some storage buses. And I've got some cables already, so there is no problem there. Yeah, this is actually a lot easier than I thought. I actually thought I might need to interface the entire production line of trucks into my plant logistics, but I really don't have to. All I need to do is place a storage bus right here and tell that storage bus to interface with tracks only. And now it knows that this only has tracks, and simply connect it to the rest of my network. That's it, taken care of. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. But okay. However, I'm going to some more tracks now, so let's grab some. And let's take 2 stacks more. Okay. So that's just solved me a large problem. And I think I may need to block a couple of things, break a couple of things here. Should also get some tubes. And what don't I really need at the moment? This can go away. Okay, I'm probably going to remodel some of those blocks. The cable line here is kind of not really, so probably going to need to change. Anyway, so a tube near each regulator. It cannot be interfaced directly into an inventory slot. It has to be connected to a tube. And let's do it like this. Now I think the actual, these are all inputs. Okay. So let's say the blue slot will be bridge material. So the regulator will accept up to a stack. It will make sure that it has a stack, and it will go into this mode, so it's going to refill it dynamically. And this is the blue slot. I think it can keep it by default, but let's not keep it by default. The blue side goes, the storage port doesn't make any difference. It goes to the cart, although, and that's pretty much it. I think, I don't really need to do anything too special about it. There is really nothing to it. Let's do like this to keep it uniform. Okay, the blue slot as well, so it's kind of all the sides into the cart, and the yellow side is all sides into the cart. Okay, so this one keeps bridge material. The red one will keep tracks. No, the red one will keep coal because it's red. And the yellow one will keep bridge material. No, sorry, the actual rail, the actual tracks. Okay, now each of those tubes will be connected into a filter, so I'm going to need to make some changes here to hospitalize some room, make some room available. So this will be a filter, this will be a filter, and okay, let's just change it. I don't really want to break this line. So instead of the blue, let's use the yellow. Instead of the red, let's use the yellow. Wait, this is the... Oh wait, this is the orange. Night is coming down. To the cart. Let's break this one. Okay. Okay, let's go sleep quickly. Okay, so replacing the red face with this orange face. So using the regulator, whoops, using the regulator right here. And connect it to a tube and set it up again what I've just removed. So this is a regulator for coal. Do it like this. Let's make sure they're all uniform. Yep. And connect it into the same filter. And let's make sure that this filter pulls out coal, obviously. Let's pull it a stack at a time. This one pulls tracks a stack at a time, and this one pulls stones a stack at a time. And each one of them will interface with an interface. So 1, 2, and come on. And 3. I'm gonna need to connect cables to the last one. Okay, and let's have the interface having the same materials. So let's get some more stone, some more coal, and some more tracks. Yeah, now I can access tracks very easily, and because I'm using fabricators, it creates them so fast. It just you don't have time to change anything. Okay, so this is stones. So always have the export config of this interface will be to keep a stack of stones. The export config here will be to keep a stack of coal. And the export config here will be to keep a stack of tracks. And the last thing to do is simply make all of them run. So let's connect all of them to the same jacketed wire line. Let's have it looking like, let's do it like this. So 1, 2, 3, this. And can I place timers on interfaces? Like this? Yep. Great. And alloy wire right here. And just leave it on every 2-second cycle. It really doesn't make any difference. Okay, so now obviously all the regulators are locked in place because they're full with the respective storage, and that's what I was what I was saying previously is that only regulators give you the option to regulate an inventory. This is what I meant. As far as I know, they're the only block letting you do this to make a specific amount of items available in an adjacent inventory. At least in this pack. Obviously, logistics pipes also give you this with the supplier pipe, but this is it. Okay, so I think this is pretty much fine. Like, this is running. So the only thing remaining to do is try and let this run. Now I'm gonna keep a very close eye on everything here. Oh, actually I forgot the fact that I also need to export everything out of here. But okay, I'm gonna take care of that later. Mainly because I don't really know what to expect. Like I know I can expect netherrack, I can expect salt sand, and can expect glowstone, and probably even mushrooms. But I don't know. Maybe there's other things I didn't think about. So in terms of exportation, thing to be exported, this will wait. Okay, so let's give it the first kick by giving it a manual coal piece. It will try to go up. It can't go up. Now it will get refilled with all the fuel, all the bridge material, and all the rails. There we go, and the bridge material. And it should go through. Oh wait, this is turned off. Forgot about this. Let's turn it on. Ooh, what's going on? You can't come here, bro. Okay, I'm gonna need to block this. He really wants to go this way. Why didn't he go through the gate? This is actually... Nope, we have some issues. I did not expect that. This is new. Okay, maybe let's try to simply make a larger gate. Maybe that will help. It clearly sees the track ends here, so it doesn't want to go through, but I want it to go through, so I'm going to do something about this. Let's try making a larger gate. So it will get locked here. Let's get some more crystals. I've got some crystals already. Let's try making a larger gate. So take the book out. Simply right-clicking or left-clicking or shift. What's going on? Give me my book. Okay. This is also a way to get it, I guess. Let's try making a larger gate. Maybe that will help. Let's also make it larger in every direction except for up. I don't need to go higher. Let's also make it lower. So it will be looking like this. This will go down a little bit more. I actually have an idea in case it will not work. I have an idea on what I can do, but I really want this to work. I really hope it will work. Okay, so this will go down. It will be a very large gate. This card will have to be extremely fat not to go through. And that's again, place the book receptacle. And it should be, again, we're going to the same place exactly. Yeah, leading here. Although, now, okay, now I just realized that if that's indeed the problem, I'm going to change the other gate as well, but I'm going to take care of that later. Let's turn the card back on again. No, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like the fact that he cannot go through. Okay, I actually have an idea. Although I really feel like... Well, I think if I place a block here, it kind of breaks everything, right? If I do this... If I break the receptacle... Place a block here with a track... And place it again, I guess it will not work. If I do this, yeah, it has to be a hollow place. It cannot update like this. Okay, I actually have an idea. I still want to use the same method of charging things, like unloading and reloading cargo in the same age. So I'm not gonna give up on that. So I'm gonna require some changes though. What I actually had the idea of using is something called a launcher rail from Railcraft. Launcher, this thing, launcher track. If I understand it correctly, a cart riding this track will simply get launched forward. And this is actually quite amusing, but this will actually force the track here. It will basically remove the judgment from it, because if it gets launched and it's flying in the air, it cannot decide not to go through something. It is forced to go through. So this kind of fixes my problem. Let's try to go ahead and build one. This is something new. It's going to use rolling machine with obsidian dust. Oh, that's the use for the obsidian dust I had from the previous episode. Nice. So let's actually go ahead and make some. Okay, so apparently I already got some obsidian dust, so that's pretty good. I can take some of it out. And I'm going to need 4 reinforced rail, so a minimum of 6 anyway, with some steel ingots, which are made... I didn't make it for quite some time. I think you simply place some iron in my blast furnace. I really don't recall. Steel. It requires steel, right? Do I happen to have some steel already? Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe in my valuables? Probably not. Yeah, I don't think I have... I remember making some of it. But, yeah, I don't remember. I think I just used it all. So, if I recall correctly, it requires placing some iron in here, and I think any type of fuel. Let's try with, say, coal. I think it will not work with coal. No, I think you only need coal coke. Only that works here, pretty sure. Yeah. Okay, so that's gonna be a slightly long process. I'm gonna give it some time, and I'll be right back. Okay, so since this is gonna take a little bit of a while, this is actually taking some time here, and actually also since I'm gonna need to craft this. Hello, Enderman. I'm going to craft this reinforced rail at least once, but also those blocks are blocks of steel, not blocks of iron. This is going to require a lot of steel. Either way, this is going to take a while. So in the meantime, and unfortunately probably not in this episode because this is going to take quite a while, there is some change that I really wanted to do for quite some time. I actually did it almost a couple of times. And I think it's time for me to finally get rid of those generators running on blaze stuff and finally start using solar power. I do have that HV solar array factory, and I think it's time for me to actually start using it. And now I did use it a couple of times temporarily, but I think I really would like to start using it full time. So couple of things. First one, let's actually get an HV solar array here. So let's just steal one more of them. And bring it right here with some cabling. Whoops. And I'm doing that mainly because I kind of don't like the fact that I keep using blaze rods, even though I don't know. I prefer using something which is completely free like solar power instead of burning coal and blaze rods. So this is the first thing. This MFSU which keeps struggling with energy will struggle no more. So let's get rid of all those buses and everything. So let's take the electric wrench and remove all those. I don't think I can do it like this. Okay, just get rid of them like this. Works good enough. And which also means that now, since I'm going to have a surplus of, yeah, I don't think the prototype OmniReg actually works like lossless mode. With that in mind, I think it will also be a good time for me to also change the blaze farm to also have a shutdown mode when I have too much blaze rods. But that actually I'm going to do this probably in the next episode because it's a little bit more complicated than this. Like what I've been doing so far is simply set up a couple of conditions such as do I have enough coal, do I have enough bones, do I have enough whatever, and simply turning off the farm. However, this time this is a little bit more complicated because it has two separate cases, two separate conditions which are very separate from each other. I said the word separate like 5 times now. And I don't think, I really don't like to get something started in one episode and finish it in the next one, although I just did that with the trucks and the mining cart. I really don't want to try and do this again. I can just go ahead and explain what's the two different things. Let's just make sure, yep, I should be generating a nice amount of energy. Actually, since this MFSU is using all the energy it receives, it's kind of it looks as if it's not generating anything, but it's generating, yeah. This macerator, everything here consumes so much energy, kind of going crazy lately. Anyway, the thing about the blaze farm is it has two main uses, and there are two separate main uses. The first one is the actual blaze rods, so I want blaze rods. The second one is the experience. Now, sometimes I want experience, sometimes I don't, but since they're logically different because turning on the experience farm requires one more step, in addition to also the farm running, this is kind of a little bit different. Now, I have an idea in mind on how to fix this. It shouldn't be too much complicated, but I really would like to do this in the next episode. So unfortunately, it didn't get too much done this episode. I really wasn't expecting the car to act the way it did, but the launcher track which I'm building right now should solve my problem. So that will be that, and hopefully in the next episode I'm finally going to have the actual mining cart running and mining, as the name suggests. Alright, so as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.